Hi guys, welcome into the video. So today we are going to be talking about this is going to be my February reading wrap up, which is crazy to say because February felt like it was taking forever, and I'm just so glad that March is coming. I'm just really excited for spring to start, and I don't know, it's just I need it to start being sunny because the rain and everything, I love the rain, but the cold is kind of driving me insane, so I need some sun. But anyways, March is in 2 days. It's in 2 days, and I'm not yet finished with my last book for this video, which is Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. But so this will kind of be 2 parts, me talking about the books I have finished, and then probably tomorrow I'll update you on my ratings for this book. And sorry, you keep seeing my cat's tail walking in front of my phone, so just don't mind that. So this month, so far, we have read 4 books, and this is going to be my 5th book. So I believe I had, I believe I had 6 books on my TBR, and I did not finish my TBR for this month. I read 4 of them. Yeah. No, wait. Okay, so I finished 3 of the books on my TBR, and this will be my 4th book that was on my TBR. And the other 2 that I did not finish was One Last Stop, and it was One Last Stop and The Book Thief, which I am sad about, but I just did not have time. So this month I got really sick, and for some reason when I get sick I don't want to read, which is weird because I had so much time that I could have got reading done, but it was just not happening. I was exhausted. And then I also started cross country. My cross country season started, and my state for swimming, my state championships, is on Saturday, so 2 days from now. So I'm excited for that, but I've just been preparing for that, and that has been taking a while. So let's get to the books. The first book I read was Anatomy: A Love Story by Dana Schwartz. And this was a gothic YA romance, and it was super fun, and I thought the plot was really creative and cool. And I liked the time period it was set in. It was like it felt old England-ish, but my final rating on this is 3.75, and the romance felt very, very YA, and I don't think it progressed very naturally. The romance to me just didn't seem like it progressed very naturally, and it just wasn't my favorite. I love the storyline, I love the setting, it was really cool, it was really fun, and yeah, and if you want a fun YA romance, I think you'd like this. It was kind of a brainless read, and I thought it was cool, so 3.75 stars. And then the next book I read was First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, and this was my February book of the month choice. And this book was so much fun, and I thought it was a cutesy romance, and it is compared to Sleepless in Seattle, and I think that's a very good comparison because I have seen that film, and this book, I think it just really represents it. And the plot is very set around the hotline that you call into, and Aiden that's his job. He's a romance hotline, what's the word? I don't know. I don't know how I forgot that word. He's the host of Baltimore's romance hotline called Heartstrings. And Lucy's daughter called into the hotline show because she wanted her mom to get romance advice because she hasn't dated in a while. And so her daughter is meddling in a relationship, and I thought that plot was super fun, super creative. It was very romancy, but the characters had a lot of depth, and I thought their relationship was so cute. And I really like how B.K. Borison wrote other relationships, like with Lucy's daughter's dad. So her ex, I would say. I really like how she wrote that relationship. It seemed very healthy. I think it's really good, to just show those relationships and how that worked, and not just the romance. And I thought it was a super fun read, and I really want to read more of B.K. Borison's work, and this was just such a good start for me to read her works, and it was an amazing February read because romance. So I gave this one 4.5 stars. It was super fun. It wasn't my favorite romance of all time, but I did like it. So 4.5 stars. And then the next book I read was People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. And I had read 2 other Emily Henry books, Beach Read and Book Lovers, and I liked both of them. all of the books that I have read have been from like 4.5, 4.75, that range. So Beach Read was 4.5, and then Book Lovers was 4.75, and I think I gave Book Lovers 4.75 because I just really love the New York City setting. I think that's so much fun, and most of the books I've read by her are based around books, and I just think that's so cool. And yeah, because I'm a reader, I love reading about other readers, and I think it's so fun. And in this book, the main male character likes to read, and I don't know, I just love that so much. It's so much fun. And so Poppy and Alex have been friends for over a decade, and I think having a romance after a friendship is just, their connection is unmatched. A person's connection after that many years of friendship is just crazy. And originally I rated this a 5 stars, but after thinking about it more, I don't think it should, or no, I knew it shouldn't have been my first 5-star of the year. And as I was thinking about it, I did love their relationship, and I thought it was so fun. It was just some of the scenes and some of the plot felt a little repetitive, but I still loved it. So I kind of like this one a little more than Beach Read, but I'm still giving it a 4.5 stars because I liked it less than Book Lovers. So it goes Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation, and Beach Read. And my goal is to read a majority of Emily Henry's books during the summer because I think they're really fun summary books. And yeah, so I think this was amazing. It was so cute. It's just awesome. So 4.5 stars. So those were the 3 books that I read in my reading only romance for a week. So the books I read this month were a majority of romance because February, Valentine's Day, yada yada yada, all that. And then I think I'm gonna tell you, technically I read 6 books. I also read Stalking Jack the Ripper, but I finished that like February 1st, the morning of February 1st, so I put that into my January reading wrap-up because I didn't want to wait a whole month to put that in the next wrap-up, and so it just felt fitting to do that. So technically I read, 5.5 books now because of this book, but technically I read 6 books, I would say, because I did finish that. So anyways, I didn't read as many books as I could have because this was definitely a hefty book, The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I have to say, this book broke me. It was heartbreaking. Definitely the favorite book I've read by her. I've read 3 of her books, The Great Alone and The Women, and now The Nightingale. And I would say my rating for that is The Great Alone down here, and then I think The Women like here, and then The Nightingale just a little above that. Kristen Hanna really writes stories that don't feel like stories at all. The characters seem like they're real, and all their hardships you feel everything for them. What these characters go through is just heartbreaking. It's so heartbreaking. And she doesn't just write about one character. Every single character has depth. Every single character has meaning in her stories, and everything is just, she really knows how to write the human experience, especially when they go through hardships. And I think how she writes is just amazing, and the way she can write stories that have so much to them is insane. It's insane to me that she can write stories like this. It really is. This book was, I will never forget it. Her books are so just unforgettable. And it says on here soon to be a major motion picture, and I was looking that up, and it doesn't look like there's anything in production or anything. So if anybody knows anything about that, you should tell me in the comments because I'm so curious, because I think this would be a great movie if done right. If done right, it would be an amazing movie, because my mom also read this and she loved it too. She absolutely loved it, and that it just shows that people of so many different ages can love her work. I feel like from 15 to 80, you would love this book. It's just so good. So I'm happy to say this was my first 5-star read of 2025. And 6-star read. It breaks my scale. This book breaks my scale. It's so good. If you get nothing else out of this video, go read The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna because it is just amazing. Okay, done with my rant on The Nightingale. Now, so I'm going to talk a little bit about The Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, but I'm not yet finished with it. I actually started this last month. Yeah, I started it last month, and then I got sick, and that kind of put me in a reading slump, and I just didn't want to pick it back up because every time I looked at it, it made me feel like I was sick again, because I just correlated the book with that, which is so sad, but I did that. And then I picked it up this week again, and I kind of got through a bunch of books, but the chapters kind of felt like they were dragging on and everything, and this definitely won't be my favorite book in the series, but so far it's a pretty good ending to the series. I think it's hopefully gonna wrap it up in a pretty little bow, but if it doesn't, I think that'll definitely affect my rating for this book. My favorite book in this series, I would say, is probably the second one. I really like to see all the victors and everything together. I thought that was super fun and interesting, and I think that storyline was just the best, because the first book was like setting up the world and everything, and the second book you kind of know all the characters, and I think, yeah, that kind of made it why it's my favorite. And the third book, I'm sure, will be a good ending. Suzanne Collins is a good writer, so yeah. And then I'm really excited for next month, which Haymitch's Games is coming out, which is Sunrise on the Reaping. And for my TBR next month, if you haven't seen that video, you should go watch it after this video. If you haven't seen that video, I put, what is it called? The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I believe. I put that on my TBR for next month, and I'm super excited to read that. I'm kind of scared because it's over 500 pages, I believe, and I don't know what it is with her pages and everything, but when I'm reading her books, they just feel like there's so many words on each page, and they're really just packed to the rim with everything in that, and it was just interesting. So yeah, they're definitely interesting and pretty heavy pages, I would say. I don't know why, I just feel like drained after reading two or four pages. Maybe that's just a me thing, but it's just taking me a little extra time. I have no idea. But also next month, I'm going to have a lot of reading, because I put 6 books on my TBR for next month, and Sunrise on the Reaping is coming out, and I want to get to that at some point next month because I'm so excited for it. And then also my book of the month books I got You Between the Lines, and I don't know who that's by, and Our Infinite Threads, I believe, and that's like that's a romantasy, and then You Between the Lines is a romance, and I was reading the synopsis and it said something about poets, and I absolutely love poetry, so I was hoping that'd be good. And all the other books on the book of the month just didn't seem like my cup of tea. There was one book, it would have like a heart. It looked like a melting heart almost on the cover. I'm not sure what that's called, but it looked kind of interesting. It was like about this girl who was trying to get her PhD. That sounds wrong. PhD? Yeah, PhD. She was trying to get her PhD, and she didn't see how that'd be profitable, and she was kind of having burnout, I believe. And so she goes on and speed dates a bunch of men and women, and I thought that was interesting, and it was supposed to be like a rom-com-ish thing, but I could barely find any reviews on that, and I just wasn't trusting it because it sounded like it'd be interesting, but I just don't know. But I also wanted to read Our Infinite Threads. That's been on my want to read on Fable and Goodreads for a while before it came out, so it's like, why not just get it from book of the month? If I'm gonna buy it at some point, why not just get it now? So I did get 2 books, which I shouldn't have, because I shouldn't be spending a bunch of money on books. I wanted 2 books, so because I just love to buy books for some reason. That's just like, reading is one part of the hobby, but buying the books is a whole different hobby. That's just a whole different thing. Anyways, I'm hoping to update you on Mockingjay some point tomorrow, maybe even today. We'll see how it works out. I might not even update you on it this month, but who knows. And so that's really all my bookish updates. If you want to hear about things going on in my life, I'm getting a haircut later, which is fun because this definitely needs to get cut. I got my haircut like 7 months ago or so, like before school started. So yeah, a couple months ago, and I just want to get some curtain bangs and get my layers redone because it's looking a little, I don't know, it's looking a little shabby. So yeah, because I love like volume in my hair, and when my layers just grow out, my hair gets really flat and everything, and my curls, usually my hair is kind of curly, but when my layers go out, it's just, my hair gets flatter faster after I shower, which drives me insane. Usually I can go 3 days with my curls looking fine, and then they just fall flat. and with swim, every other day, and cross country every single day, it's harder to keep my hair clean with all the working out I'm doing. So yeah, anyways, that's all my updates at the moment, and I'm hoping to update you on Mockingjay in a little bit. So I'll probably be cutting to my review now. Okay, so hi guys, at the moment it is February 29th at about 11:20 p.m. and I just finished The Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins. I'm gonna give this about 4.5 to 4.75 stars. I think it was a really good ending to the series, and this has been a really long time coming for me because I have loved these movies for just forever, and I just absolutely love this, and I'm really gonna miss these characters, and it's just really sad getting through this series. I wanted to pace it, and I think I did a pretty good job of pacing the series, but I just wish I had more time in the original 3 books. But I will get to read more books in this universe, so I am happy about that. But I do definitely think it was a good ending, and I really liked getting to be with all the characters again in this final book. And I can't really talk that much about it just because it is the last book in the series. Okay, so that's all the books I read in February. So I'm gonna just go back through all of them. Do this. So the first one was Anatomy, and I gave this 3.75 stars. Then we had First Time Caller, and I gave this 4.5 stars. The next one we had is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry, and originally I gave this 5 stars, but I changed it to 4.5. The next one we had was The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and I gave this 5 stars, and it was my first 5-star read of the year, which is so exciting. And then last but certainly not least, I read Mockingjay by Suzanne Collins, and I gave that a 4.5 stars, maybe 4.75. I just have to sit on it a little more. So 4.5 Mockingjay, Suzanne Collins. And this month I read 5. I read 5 books, which my goal is 6 books a month, but I have been very busy recently, so I'm hoping I get to 7 books next month, but we'll see about that. I always say I want to get to a certain amount of books each month, and I just never get to that amount, because I do want to read 70 books this year, and at the current pace I'm reading, I'll read like 60 books, which is not bad at all. Like, that is so good. That's more than I read last year, so but anyways, I think I had a pretty good reading month. I did read a lot of romances this month because February, and that was really fun getting to kind of mood read, but I also had a TBR, and I did read, I think these 2 were in my TBR, and then I also think Anatomy was, so I only read 3, I only read 3 books off of my TBR, but that's fine. That's half, good enough for me. Okay, so I'm tired. I still gotta edit this video. Hopefully, I'm hoping it gets up tomorrow, Saturday, March 1st, but we'll see. And I'm exhausted. So, good night, thank you, or good night, good morning, whatever time it is for you. I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing night. Bye, thanks for watching. And if you watched all the way to this part, comment the tulip emoji down below. Bye.